Good afternoon, guys. I had to check the time. Good afternoon. How are y'all doing? Thanks for the like. Thanks for the like. Y'all come on in. Happy Sunday. Happy Sunday. Hold on. Let me see if I can I do this? Let me see if it'll give me a little. There we go. Let's see. Hold on. What does this pop do? Dr. Rogers, please say you are here to speak on behalf of the sisters. They seem like amazing individuals. What do I need to speak on, Minnie? Minnie, Jonna, hey, how y'all doing? What do I need to speak on? Fill me in, because I am not aware. What happened? Give me the short version. What happened? Trying to fix this color on here, y'all. Welcome to everyone that is in here. The few that are in here, welcome. I'm gonna wait to get a response back from Minnie because I'm actually interested in what's going on. I'm not aware of anything that's going on with that, so I'll wait on a response. I am chilling out on the Sunday, so you guys see the head. I have to go and wash it when I finish. But Bozo said that the sister's trying to get killed, new lawyers, because they can't get any money. Because they can't get any money? Nobody's trying to get him any new lawyers. Not that I'm aware of. I think, I could be wrong, but I think that everybody is content with the attorney that he has now, and the other people that are still in place. I think what some people don't realize is that there are still other people in place. She is the lead, but there are still other people that are there that a lot of people aren't aware of. And I won't go into too much detail with that, but and this isn't to go back and forth because I have no idea what anybody said other than what you just posted in here. But yeah, that's not true. That's not true. Sir Miguel, how are you? How are you? How are you? How are you? Here's the thing with them. There's a reason why they keep to themselves and lay low. Because whenever they come out and say something, then there's a problem. Whenever they don't come out and say something, then there's a problem. But the best thing for them is to just let people think whatever they think. And that's the conclusion that we reached a long time ago. Like, don't put out any more information. Don't try to prove anything to anybody. You know, y'all want to go out and say something and say what you got to say and keep it moving. Because I am doing well, thank you. And this goes along with this conversation, Minnie, so thank you for bringing that up. It'll just put us into another, take us into this other conversation too. I just hate that people make them seem like bad people. So this is the thing I was gonna say with that, to go along with this conversation. When people don't know something, then what they do is they put information out there to try to bait people. You feel what I'm saying? So if they don't understand something or they don't know something and they want to know, they want to get information, they'll go and put a lie out. Because 9 times out of 10, once they put that lie out, then somebody's going to come and report the truth because they don't want that lie hanging around. That's usually what happens. And that is part of people's, I don't want to say mental illness, but that's what where a lot of this stuff is coming from. And like I said, this isn't a slight toward anybody because I don't know what anybody has said about anything. But I will say, whenever people don't have enough stuff going on in their own lives, or maybe they have too much stuff going on and they need to get away, they need a get away from whatever they have going on or whatever they're going through, then they find another way. They try to transfer that energy over to something else or to someone else. In this particular situation, you look at the sisters. They don't come out bothering anybody. They don't say anything to anybody. You don't see them like out here doing the most. So for anybody to want to come and put anything out there, when you guys can see, y'all see that they're not out there. They're just not. They're not. And it's a good thing. So because people aren't familiar, because they don't know, because they are no longer putting information out, because at one time they were, would like supply a little information to keep people in the know. But whenever it got to a point, remember I told you guys, you know what you know. It's like at some point, why even bother? Why put information out there if people already know? If they think they know the truth, if they don't really care about what the actual truth is, then there's no need to put anything else out there. Period. What I will tell you is, again, I don't know who's saying what, but they talk to very few people. Very few. So unless those people that they talk to are coming out saying that they made those kind of comments, I probably wouldn't pay it any attention. And I know for darn sure I ain't come out and say it, because I ain't saying nothing. I ain't saying nothing. So, I mean, again, it's one of those things. And the thing that people really have to ask themselves is, why are people so, I won't say invested, but why are people so vested in what other people have going on? Ultimately, I don't know why there would be any talk about any other attorneys or anything like that, because at the end of the day, it doesn't matter. Let's say they did want him to have some more attorneys. They don't make that decision. They may, voice their opinion to him about whatever's going on, but ultimately he has to make that decision. He has to make that decision. And the thing that a lot of people don't realize is the same people that say that they don't have any place or they don't have any type of relationship may be the same people coming back giving you guys these, giving these guys this information. And the thing is with that, if you're gonna, like, you can't have it both ways. Like, if they don't deal with them, then why would there be any concern about them wanting more attorneys? You see what I'm saying? Because then they don't have any role in that anyway. Do y'all see what I'm saying? So, like, which one is it? Which one is it? Do people think that they are that close and they have that type of authority to go and get him some more attorneys? Because that's what I would get from the conversation. If that's what you think, then maybe they're actually closer than what, people may be putting on, or people think that they're closer than what they're actually putting on. If they feel like they have the authority to come in and just go and say, we don't want these attorneys, or we don't want this attorney, we want these attorneys, that's a lot of power. So again, it will go back to, for me, really looking at people's train of thought and what would be the reason to put that type of information out there anyway. Because David Sean, I'm going to say this, and I know that you have your own stuff going on, but I just want to be clear on this. The phrase mentally ill does not compare to someone calling a black person the N-word. I'm not going to even let you have that one on my channel, sir. Now, I understand you got stuff going on, But yeah, we're not gonna turn this into something else. But you will not make that comparison on my channel, because the two have nothing to do with each other. There are people that are legit mentally ill, that have a mental illness or that have mental challenges. But as far as someone going and using the N-word in a derogatory way, yeah, you won't get a pass on that on this channel, sir. So we're gonna yeah. Uniquely made. Hey, how you doing? How you doing? Basic Mom, hey, how you doing? Vonda, if I didn't speak. Tirana, Brenda, hey, how you guys doing? How are you doing? Candy, hey, how you doing? How you doing? How you doing? I didn't get to see your comment. I see it's retracted. But how are you all doing? That's a whole other conversation. David, I know you come and make comments on my channel sometime, and that is fine. I am qualified to say that someone is mentally ill. Saying that someone has a mental illness or speaking on someone being mentally ill does not equate to someone calling someone else a nigger. Period, point blank. So if you want to come and cause confusion on the channel with that, then I'm going to go and have to, let you exit stage left, because don't bring that over here. Please don't bring that over here. So that's one of the things that I would say in this particular situation. Oh, I didn't see it, Candy. I'm sorry, I didn't see it. So the thing that really gets me in these types of situations, and the sad part is when you're talking about it, it's like it shows its head, and it's almost embarrassing. It's almost embarrassing. So I guess my thing is, people like to say a hit dog will holler. It's not even about a hit dog hollering. Whenever you have a discussion on this fine line between entertainment and mental illness, see, a lot of people do things. And I give you the prime example, because the person that I was going to use as the example today was Kanye. So a lot of people see the things that he is doing. They see his antics and they laugh at it. They think that, the people that follow him, because you have your followers. We get back to that followers word again. So you have your followers. And the people that follow certain people because they like them, they'll go along with the antics. They won't call them out on a behavior. They won't address those things. They will go and they will support those behaviors, even when they see that those behaviors may be self-destructive. Even when they see that those behaviors may be self-defeating, they still support those behaviors. They'll see somebody spiraling out of control and they'll still support those behaviors. That's a lot of what we see on here. We'll see a lot of people, and a lot of things get laughed off, and people be like, oh, well, that's just them, or it's just commentary. But at the end of the day, you have something where people they don't know how to control whatever they have going on in their lives, so they go and try to spark controversy with other people. Just like the person that's in the chat right now that's trying to get me to say something against Dana. I am not saying anything against Dana. Do not go and leave this channel and say that I called him anything, because that would be a lie. And we believe in telling the truth over here. So if you want to come over here and start something, see, this is that mentally ill stuff that I'm talking about, because a person that is trying to do the right thing and really thinking with the right frame of mind, an adult, wouldn't even be participating in these type of behaviors. Not these type of abnormal these types of abnormal behaviors. And so the thing is, if you want to feel a certain way about him or somebody else, and you are welcome to feel whatever way that you feel. As far as me in my house, I don't have a dog or a cat in this fight. I am not talking about anybody. If there's something that he has going on, I timed him out. If there's something that he has going on and you got a problem with that, then you go take that up with him. But we're not doing that over here. We are not doing that over here. So go somewhere else with the BS. You too grown for that. And if you're not grown enough, then go find you another channel to go to that supports the Bouffale, because we're not doing that over here. Yeah, I try to, you guys know I try to give people a chance whenever it comes to certain things. I try to give people a chance, but it comes to a point when you are trying to, hey Kim, how you doing? When you are trying to be a diversion. And that's what we see a lot on here. But the thing is, again, those diversion tactics, those are the exact tactics that I'm talking about. People may try to use it as entertainment. People may see it as entertainment, but it goes far beyond that, because there are some things that people that are in their, I'm going to say right minds, for lack of a better phrase, that people are in that are in their right minds. There's certain things that they're just not going to do if they're thinking objectively, if they're thinking realistically, if they're behaving in a realistic, objective manner. Then there's certain things that they're not going to partake in, certain things that they are not going to go along with. And that's what we're seeing out here in this whole thing. Now, back to Kanye, because that's the example that I choose to use over here on my channel, which I am more than equipped enough to do. So, looking at the example that we're using with Kanye, a lot of people sit there and they feel like the things that he's doing is funny. At the end of the day, those same things that he's laughing about, those things like threatening another celebrity online, giving out that celebrity's address, telling people where that celebrity's children goes to school. See, his fans may think that those things are funny. They'll laugh. They go along with it. And then when those things lead to more serious consequences, or when someone actually gets hurt, then people want to say that whoever went and tried to take it to another level or went a legal route, they feel like, you know, that person is wrong. Or, you know, he was just joking. It was just jokes. It was just entertainment. But when it comes to certain things, there is no, it's just entertainment. When you're doing things that affect people personally, that's not entertainment. When you're going around threatening to hurt people or put people on people or send people to your house, or you're threatening bodily harm, that's not entertainment. When you're sitting up there and you're knowingly, willingly putting out false information about people, just false. I mean, y'all, there is nothing normal about that behavior. One of the things that we have talked about on here is we talked about manipulation. We've talked about narcissism. We've talked about those type of behaviors. And a lot of people have been able to identify those behaviors. But at the same time, what we have with this particular thing is, at some point, like the joke is over. People don't play about their lives and real life situations. And again, a person that is in their right mind, an adult that is in his or her right mind, is not going to sit there and go along with the foolishness. Not an adult that's in their right mind. And I say that, I'm saying that with authority, and I'm going to stand on that. An adult that is in his or her right mind. It's certain things that you are not going to go along with, because it's not something that you would do. It's not something that you would even welcome into your daily life, into, you know, what you would want coming into your temple. Like, who wants that kind of mess like surrounding them every day. So this is one of the things that I look at. And this is why I think, basically, you said something about correction. This is why something is said and I feel like it needs to be addressed, especially something that's in my chat, I go ahead and correct it. Just like someone trying to bring somebody up and trying to say that I said whatever. No, you're not going to say Dr. Rogers said Jack, because Dr. Rogers will say whatever it is that she has to say. I don't need anybody speaking for me or breaking anything down for me. I said exactly what I mean to say. So again, I didn't see anything that anybody else had to say. I was commenting on a comment that was put in my chat. It goes no more than that. It is what it is. As far as me speaking on something that is going on with the sisters, I stood with them before, I stand with them now. And I know that there's certain things no, it's not true. And it doesn't matter who put it out there. It's just not true. Again, anybody, like, if you think that they have the authority to do certain things, then you're like really giving them more authority than, than they actually have. But hey, if you like it, I love it. So, again, let me address this person that keeps popping up in the chat here. I'm with King Kales. You're going to get my attention for a few minutes. It is irrational for you to believe that you can tell me who I can use as an example. As an adult, as a responsible adult, I have the right, the authority, and I have the mitigated gall to use Kanye as an example. Kanye has he has openly admitted that he has mental health issues, period. That's not something that I am guessing about. He openly has mental health issues. Someone's intelligence has nothing to do with mental illness. So this is where I'm going to call you out on your mess, because you do realize there are two different things, right? A person can be the smartest person in the world. Some of the most genius individuals also had a mental illness. So just because you have a mental illness, that has absolutely nothing to do with your intellectual capabilities. They are two different things. So just because someone, they may just be far gone, they may be schizophrenic, they may have schizoaffective disorder, they may have a chronic mental illness, that still does not take away from the fact that they may be a genius. So if you're going to come at me about those things, I need you to realize that one is speaking on an intellectual level while one is speaking on a mental level. They're two different things, actually two different parts of the brain. So I don't understand exactly where you're trying to go with that, because, you got Jeffrey Dahmer, you got Timothy McVeigh. These people were straight animals, but they were brilliant. They were gifted. You have people like Adolf Hitler. You have all these people that were monsters, but intellectually, they were brilliant. That's how they were able to get people to flock behind them and believe the foolishness that they said and actually join in on the occult behaviors that they were participating in. Let's take that another step further. You can have people that are not all the way there intellectually, but they can still get people to do certain things because mentally they don't realize that they are lacking intellectually, because they're two different things. I just want to make that clear. They're completely two different things. So again, when we go to Kanye has openly, go do your research and see where he has spoken about his mental illness. Go and see where his wife has spoken about his mental illness, and then come back and check me on it. And then we can go back. Now, if you have his IQ scores and you can speak on what his intelligence quotient is, if we're going to speak about the IQ, if you can tell me what his intelligence quotient is, then we can have a conversation about his intelligence versus his mental illness. Because one thing that we know is fact is that he does have a self-admitted mental illness, but he's never come out and told us what his IQ score was. So if we're going to say that he is a very intelligent person, then let's go and pull his IQ scores and see what IQ scores say, what he did on the IQ test, what his school, his grades were in school. How did he do on BSAP and all that stuff. And then we'll come back and have a conversation about that. And then we'll have a conversation. But other than that, two completely different things. Completely different things. Now, getting back onto his mental illness that he has openly spoken about, which he actually takes medication for, which he has actually spoke on it. But Jocelyn, oh my goodness, Kanye is a genius, but he's human and he needs people around him to give him the truth. Absolutely. And that's what the problem is with a lot of people. They have this, again, they can be the smartest people in the world. Let's assume that he is smart. I don't take anything away from him. I'm a Kanye fan myself. But at the end of the day, when you look at his behaviors, you can tell at this point that he is not healthy. The same thing as when I spoke on Wendy Williams before this stuff started happening with her show. Remember, I was doing little videos and I was showing you that I was seeing something going on with her? She started slowly spiraling out of control, and she had all those yes people around her. A lot of her behaviors, people were laughing at it. When she was going blank on her show and didn't know what to say, and her producers and other people were having to jump in and fill in the gaps whenever she was just having these like blackout moments on the show, just completely blank, just saying stuff like it was more gibberish more than anything. Her thoughts were random. They were all over the place. And people were laughing at it. I'm going to take this a step further. We're going to go to Miss Tasha. Again, spoke on those behaviors, spoke on things that we saw. And even though people still to this day, they think this is all about entertainment, everything is not about entertainment. If you want to go and make some good money on YouTube and you do have some type of mental deficiency or something like that, YouTube is the perfect place because people love to see stuff like that. They buy into it. It's not even that they love you. They just love to see people spiral out of control. And they sit there and they will support it. They'll even pay you for their behaviors. But a lot of times it's because they have not dealt with their own behaviors and they can identify with those behaviors that they see in other people. And that's what a lot of people don't get. Yes, it may seem like it's entertainment for you, but you have to ask yourself, why are those behaviors entertainment to you? Because if you are of sound mind and body, then certain behaviors that you see are actually troubling. You look at it, you like, okay, somebody needs to say something. Why won't somebody do something? Like somebody tell them to stop. Like you see that stuff and it bothers you because you know that the behaviors are abnormal. Hence, abnormal psychology. Like that's where that comes from because people partake in abnormal behaviors. So when we look at this, especially again, in this area, I look at things and that's why certain things I just refuse to respond to because, and I've said this before, I can recognize a mental deficiency when I see one. If you don't want me to say mental illness, I can recognize a mental deficiency. When I see one, I can see where there are some problem areas. And it's not like I'm some type of psychic. It's just what I do. And it's certain things where people may find it funny. And I'm sitting here and I'm just shaking my head. And I'm actually like, wow, like it saddens me. Like nobody's going to say anything. And I'm sitting up here like thinking like, where's this person's parents? Or where's the family? Where's the friends? And the sad part is that when we look at the whole situation with RK and different people, the same people that folks like to talk about and say, oh, look at their behaviors and they're doing this and they're doing that. A lot of them act just like those people. A lot of those same irrational behaviors that some of these other people may have partaken in, like you doing the same thing. And my thing is, if the tables were turned and you were put in a situation, would you be the person that other people were sitting around here talking about like, oh, they shouldn't have did that, or oh, they're such a lie? If you're a person that lies all the time, that makes you a manipulator. You may be a master manipulator. This is what we've been seeing in a lot of situations. Not saying that everybody's lying, not saying that everybody's telling the truth, but there have been some manipulation going on. There have been some manipulative behaviors. And we are seeing that just in this situation. That's why it's hard when a lot of people look in. It's hard for them to take a lot of people seriously, even if you're saying stuff that actually makes sense, even if you're making real points, even if you're like really like you have, you know, the gift of gab, and you can like really pull some people in and you could really teach them something if you would tell the truth, if you could get around those manipulative behaviors. When people see you being manipulative like that, and that is a mental issue, regardless of what people want to say, you can call it what you want to call it. It is a manipulative issue. We're going to call a spade a spade. We ain't going to call it a puppy toe. We ain't going to call it a club. We ain't going to call it a heart. We ain't going to call it a diamond. We're going to call a spade a spade. I'm a spade player. Y'all know what it is. So there's no need to go and try to sugarcoat things and act like it's something else when you see the behaviors. And when you see the behaviors, we have to get to the point where we stop supporting this stuff and start calling this stuff out. It's just like we're sitting up here now. And I'm not saying that I have all the answers to everything. I don't. I'm just not. I don't have the answers to everything. Lavelle, thank you. There are some things that I know. I have been doing this since 2000. Okay, that's 22 years. So it's not like I just pull some stuff out of the sky. This stuff, like this is what I do. And if I'm sitting here and I'm... It's just at some point, and you don't have to go to school for psychology. You don't have to go to school for sociology. You don't have to go to school for counseling, social work, like whatever it is. You do not have to go to school for these things to recognize when there's something wrong. It's just if you happen to get that training, it just gives you better insight into those things when you see it. But you don't have to go and get that training and see, okay, something is not right here. Something is not right. And when you find yourself or see other people in a place where they are constantly lying or constantly coming after people, okay, here's what in the real world, because I don't know if YouTube is the real world or not, but in the real world, how much sense does it make to go after people with all your might, people that you don't know? People that you've never met, people that you will never have any type of relationship with. Like, how much sense does it make to go after? I mean, like, I need y'all to think about this. Like, all jokes, all BS aside, whenever I see that, I'm sitting back like, oh my God. Because it doesn't make sense. It's all over the place. And it's not just with this particular, like you see it all over YouTube, like different, like they just go hard. Just like with Tasha going at the Cardi, like you don't know this girl. You haven't met this girl. Like there is absolutely no kind of relationship. There's nothing like between you guys other than you being a person that puts information out here and her being a celebrity. Y'all think about this. How crazy did she look going after this girl? Number one, that she should have been trying to mentor, if anything. Like, how much sense did it make for her going after this girl that she knew nothing about? Now, we looked at that and we were like, yeah, that's cyberbullying. Yeah, that's crazy. Yeah, you're stalking her. You're bullying her. Like, you're doing all these things. But then we see it in these other places with people that we may like or people that we may listen to, and we think it's okay when it's the same behavior. It's the same behavior. And that was the reason, and I know people did not like me for it. I'm not sorry, but why you won't go after the alleged victims, and why you won't do? Because that's not what I do. Period. I'm not going after somebody on a story that they told. That's their story. They gonna have to deal with that. Whether it's true, false, like whatever, that's their story. So what do I look like going after these people and doing hour and 2 hour and 3 hour long videos on somebody that I don't know? I'm not going to do it. I never have. I'm not going to go and do something that I wouldn't usually do anyway. So why? Because I'm dealing with this particular group of people or talking about this particular topic, I'm supposed to change up who I am to try to appease a group of people that can give two flips about me at the end of the day. Do you see what I'm talking about? Not saying that there's nobody out there that likes me or whatever like that, but say, hey, Pico, what's going on? But at the end of the day, like, that's what it is. Like, folks don't know you. And we have all seen where people love you on Monday, they hate you on Tuesday. People are giving you props on Sunday, and then by the end of the day, you say something that somebody doesn't like, or they feel like you took a jab at them, and they coming for you, and it's off with your head. And so my thing is, regardless of whether or not people believe it or like it, I still have to be true to who I am so that I'm not running around here looking like I'm supposed to have a case on me. You know what I mean? Like, I got enough going on. So I don't need that. You see what I'm saying? I'm trying to be, or at least act like I'm a, sound mind and body. At least act that way. If I'm not, I won't at least come across that way. Hallelujah. On a Sunday. But, there is a fine line, because there are some things that if you are thinking at least halfway right, nobody said you think it has to be perfect, but if you're thinking at least halfway right, there are certain things that you will not do. And some of the things that come, like, it's like, are you serious? Like, we really doing it? This real? Like, is this really happening? Y'all know what I'm talking about. Y'all seen things. I'm like, is this really happening? It's like sometimes I found myself getting sucked in because I'm like, I'm ready to go in. And I'm like, you know what? I wouldn't even fuss with you in real life. I wouldn't even give you my attention in real life. So why am I going to do it on here and have myself looking crazy? You see what I'm saying? Tracy, hey, how you doing? You see what I'm saying? At the end of the day, perception is everything. And there's one thing that Tyson says. He always says that that YouTube is your resume. I agree with that 100%, but not just YouTube. Just the things that you do in person, the things that you do on social media. Yes, definitely. Your resume and those things are there. And that's why it's just like someone was saying, oh, well, you went and you deleted da-da-da-da-da. Okay, listen. The first thing that I have to say about that is grown. That word grown. Okay, that's the first thing. The second thing is I can go and I can do a video and I see that the stuff that was said in that video, or like if I respond to something in the chat or the conversation goes a certain type of way, if I feel like it's not conducive to the things that I'm trying to get across, the points I'm trying to get across on my channel, then more than likely I'm going to take it down, or I'm going to go and try to edit that video, because there are certain things that I want whenever people come to this channel. There are certain things that I want them to get out of the channel, and drama isn't one of them. So if we're doing a video, especially a live, now if I'm doing a video where I'm actually sitting home and I can basically edit, cut, script whatever I'm saying, then I have complete control over that. But whenever you do a live, you don't have control over the things that are going to be said in your chat. You don't have control over anything, any emotions or anything that may come about. Or like when you have the people trying to come in and be distractors during the chat. I don't have control over that. So if I go back, or even I say, you know what, I probably shouldn't have said that like that, then I'll go back and I'll be like, you know what, let me go. Sorry about that, my sister calling. I'll go back and I'll remove certain things and keep it pushing. not thinking about what anybody else thinks about it, because at the end of the day, when it comes to me taking something down or leaving something up, that's clearly my decision. So why am I going to be concerned about whether or not somebody likes it? That's what it is. So, and that's another one of the things in this particular realm, this particular, I don't even know what to call it. I don't want to call it sector, because that's the word that's starting to go around now. But it is not realistic. I like to get on that realistic word again. It is not realistic for a grown person, unless you're somebody's supervisor, you're somebody's boss, you're in there's a certain hierarchy there, and they have to listen to you unless you actually were given the authority to say something. Why would it be realistic for you to feel like you can tell someone else what to do with something that belongs to them? It's like I have a car that I have to pay a car note on, and you don't help me pay that car note, but you feel like you can tell me where to go in my car. Or I have a house that I have to pay a house note on, and you don't pay anything on that house note. You don't pay for electricity. You don't pay for cable. You don't pay for internet services. You don't pay for landscaping. You don't pay for any of these things, but yet you feel like you have some say-so in who I allow in my house. My phone. You see what I'm saying? And I'm just using these as examples because these are examples that people can actually identify with. If you had someone coming to you telling you what to do with these things that you pay for yourself, these things that belong to you, they don't belong to any. There's no stock. Nobody has stock in this stuff that you're taking care of. And I say pay in this particular situation because even though I don't come on YouTube as much as I used to, I have invested in my stuff. You see what I'm saying? And so I don't even for YouTube, when I watch videos, I don't see commercials and all this stuff, because people be like, Doc, you have a lot of commercials playing. Well, I don't see the commercials because I do the little YouTube, I think it's Prime or whatever they call it, so I don't see that stuff. So it's certain things that I invest in, and I'm like, I don't want to see the commercials. I pay so I don't see the commercials. Now, if you're going to do something like that, and that's something you got some say-so over. But if you don't have any type of investment in what people are doing, then it's not realistic for you to think that you can go and tell another grown person what to do. And that's why whenever I, we hear people saying, don't come on this channel, don't go to that channel, premium, thank you, Tracy. Don't go to this channel. Don't talk to that person. That's why I have always said something about it. And I try to stay away from that, because who am I to tell you who you can or cannot talk to? Now, what I can do is advise you on some things. That's the best I can do. I can advise you on some things, but that's the most you're going to get out of me, because you grown. My assumption is that everybody that's on here is grown. So who am I to go and tell somebody, so that's just my that's my thing on that fine line again between entertainment and what could be seen as mental illness. Now, contrary to what a lot of people may think, you can have a mental illness and not be diagnosed. You do not have to have a diagnosis of some type of mental illness to have a mental illness. And that's what's wrong with a lot of people now. They haven't went out, they haven't sought help, they haven't went to see, what was going on. And so they may be walking around participating in certain behaviors, doing certain things, participating in certain acts, and they're not getting any assistance. That's it. Pico, thank you. Thank you. I was trying to, I'm a PhD. I'm not an MD. I'm a PhD. So I have a doctorate of philosophy. I'm not a medical doctor. Now, I've taken psychopharmacology and different classes for medication, but I cannot prescribe medication, and I do not give medication. Now, if you're one of my clients, I might be giving you some advice on certain types of things, but when it comes to this stuff on YouTube, that is not my place. So I don't know. So shout out to Pico for that distinction. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. I was trying to kind of let the force pass, you know. So, okay, I thought you gave out Xanax and things like that, like treating patients. Okay. No, I don't. No, I don't. I may make recommendations to the psychiatrist, but I don't actually give it out myself. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. So, yeah, I'm glad we got that straight. I'm glad we got that straight because I don't want nobody putting no... Y'all know. Okay, in the meantime, what I am... Is this thing going to be in the way? Let me move this because... No, you all right. You all right. You all right. I'm going to switch this around really quick. Let me get this out of the way because what I was doing is, you all right, child. You all right. You all right. I had just cooked me some shrimp and grits, and I need to do that because I've been sitting up here running my mouth, and I need to get my fluid really quick. So hold on. Hold on. So this is going to turn into a bit of a mukbang, I guess, because I am going to eat my food. Now, hold that thought. I had to put that sauce on there. That sauce, I tell you, I got to put that sauce on there. Give me a minute, y'all. Hold on. Y'all know I should have put all that on there, but yeah. So, let me come back. All right. So let me give y'all a little shot of this. Hold on. Let me back it up before we finish this conversation. Hold on. That's my shrimp and grits. That's my southern shrimp and grits with some sausages in it. Okay. Ugh. Sorry about that. All right, so I'm multitasking. So what we are doing is I am trying to do my little Sunday thing because I haven't been on here in a while. And put my little message out, eat my little stuff, and I'm trying to do all this at the same time. Now, some people may say that I may be looking a little mentally challenged at this point. So forgive me. Forgive me. But yeah, so that's what's on the menu for today. Shrimp and grits. And so yeah, I'm gonna let this calm down a little bit, and I'm gonna try my best not to smack on here to give y'all something to talk about. But it's okay, I'm country. I openly admit that. So if you want to accuse me of something, accuse me of being country. I will not deny that. I will accept everything that comes along with that because yeah, that's the truth. That's the truth. So, but when I looked at some conversations with like the stuff that was going on with DL, the stuff that was going on with Steve Harvey, with Kanye, the stuff that's going on with his wife. And again, I keep coming back to that because to me, oh, not if it's good. Tracy. Don't try to play me. Don't play me. Not if. Girl. Hold on. jump back, kiss yourself. It's good with a T on the end. Okay. I gotta let that cool off. But I would take the country over the city any day of the week. Pico, you gotta come holler at me. You gotta come holler at me. Now, I do a little something. I ain't saying I'm like Bobby Flay. I think I'm a little something like Bobby Flay, but I ain't saying I'm Bobby Flay. But you know, I do all right. I do all right, you know. For a little country girl, you know. So, so I look at them and I'm really sitting there and I'm like, yo, like, have you guys like seen people doing stuff and like you really wish that you could reach out to them and just say, you know, like chill out or give them a hug or like, darn, do something, like just let them know like it's not that deep, like you don't have to do all that. And the thing is, and I'm gonna press pause for 1 second. I'm gonna press pause for 1 second because I straight got on here and let y'all, number one, let me forget to say bless my food. But number two, while I'm blessing my food, y'all sitting on here, I need y'all to hit the like button. I ain't asking you for nothing else. No money, like none of that. I'm just asking you to hit the like button while I bless this food. So hold that thought. Oh man. Lord, I had one person hit the like button. Look at that. I tell you what. So there's like honestly, you see people spot. We can take this back. Even you look at the stuff that was going on with Whitney Houston. You look at, and these are people, you know, favorites of other people. Stuff that was going on with Michael Jackson. There were some issues. There were some real issues that were going on, and a lot of people, because they liked him, they didn't want to admit that people had issues. But even when you have people that are using, you have like different types of users. You have like people that just use like occasionally, or they may use socially. Their use looks a little different than people that are using to self-medicate. And that's why I say when I look at things, I'm looking like, okay, this is more than somebody trying to crack jokes or trying to woo an audience with commentary on social media. There's like a difference because there are boundaries. When you're doing things and you're trying to make sure that you're still being objective. You're still trying to make sure that you're being balanced. You're still trying to be fair. It's like certain things that you look at, certain things you make sure you don't cross a certain line. You're still concerned about other people's feelings. You're still concerned about how things come across to people. Like you still, and you think about perception, and you're careful about how you maybe how other people may perceive you and what you are doing. You have some care about some things. A lot of things I see when it gets to a certain point where I'm like, well, dang, they just don't care. And they'll be, you know, people be like, well, I don't care if such and such, like, I don't care. Like, there has to be something that you care about. I would say, like, for me, there's certain things I'm not going to do because I know at the end of the day, there's certain things I wouldn't want my mama seeing. I wouldn't want her to see me acting a certain type of way. It's some things I wouldn't want my coworkers seeing. It's some things that I wouldn't want, you know, people in my church, you know, seeing me act a certain way. It's certain things that I work with youth, so I wouldn't want to see, you know, have them perceiving me or my behaviors a certain type of way. So I try to be mindful of those things. And again, and that's where it comes to my videos, that there is something, especially when I'm telling them not to address certain behaviors or not to respond to certain things. And then I turn around And I do it. And I can tell you in one of the videos that we had, I had one of the viewers that was in the chat. And I, was talking to them and I was telling them, I'm not going to respond to this. I'm not going to do this. I'm not going to do that. And then I turned around and I did it. And for me, I have no problem with checking myself. So I have to go back and I'm like, you know what? Okay, I did something I said I wasn't going to do. And so instead of me sitting here looking like a hypocrite to other people, and not just looking, but being a hypocrite, I had to go back and say, you know what? This is not what I want people to see whenever they come over here. If this is the first time somebody is watching this channel, the first time somebody's coming to this page, I don't want them wondering if I'm supposed to be sitting up in somebody's ward somewhere. I don't want them coming and feeling like this is where they're going to get drama from. Like every time that they come over here, like this is the stopping point. This is the drop off for drama. And understand that if that's something that gets you riled up, if you are someone like you like drama 24/7, there's something wrong with that picture. Because that's not normal. That is not normal. There is nothing normal about wanting to always be involved in something that's negative. Not normal. Not all the time. So it's something to think about. And those things, like I said, they may not matter to other people. Those things matter to me. And to some that may make me weird. They may not like the fact, again, that I do stuff a certain way or that I don't do certain things. But that's just what it is. This is a part of me trying to take care of my mental health. Trying to make sure that I keep a healthy balance. So one thing, I sit there and I just run things back, and I don't know. I watch things and I lit like, I don't know. It's where is that line? Where is that line? Talking about people's children. Where's that line? Because in real life, you talk about people's kids, it's going to be a problem. You mess with people's parents, you mess with their kids, there's going to be a problem. And this particular group, the things that are happening that are not, it's not reality to me, because these are things that if you and someone could actually, if y'all knew each other, and could actually have a face-to-face, if y'all could actually reach out and touch each other, then these things wouldn't be happening. Another thing that bothered me is, and I know some people may not agree, making fun of someone's health issues. That's something that I would definitely tread lightly with, because number one, I got my own health issues to worry about. But as we live, if God gives us strength in our bodies to continue on from day to day, then there's not one of us that's not going to be faced with some health issues. As long as we live, if we are spared another day, that's something that we're going to have to deal with. And a lot of people laugh at that. People that are sitting around their own health issues, like they may be dealing with serious issues, and they find it funny when other people are being laughed at. That's not normal to me. It's not normal to me. When the situation happened with my brother, and my brother passed, and then my nephew passed, and then my brother's wife passed, I remember a comment was made like, oh, she's just trying to get pity of people passing to her family. And I'm like, what normal person says that? What normal person says that? Right, Pico, it's really hitting below the belt. It really is. But people laugh at it. It's funny. It's funny to people. And I'm like, where has the humanity part gone? And that's why I say that a fine line, because there are certain things. It's troubling. It's troubling. This is like one of the reasons why I try to come and speak on especially things like mental illness, because this is something that I'm familiar with. It's a lot of other stuff I can't speak on. That's not my forte, but this is something that I'm familiar with. So I know a lot of people joke about certain things, but there's some stuff out here that is real that people really need to pay attention to. It's not about calling anybody out. It's about calling out stuff that is real. And you can laugh for no reason. Yeah, I don't get it. I don't get it. And honestly, I don't want to. There's just some things that I don't want to get comfortable with. I don't want to be comfortable with those things. I don't want to have any type of complacency when it comes to those things, because to me that's bullying. Again, a lot of people like to throw that word around, but if you are someone that's going out bullying people, that is abnormal behavior. Because the reality is, when the shoe is on the other foot and something is said that affects you directly, somebody steps on your toes with something, then you are probably offended, and rightfully so. And that's why I say we really have to think about what we put out in the atmosphere and what you want to be remembered for. Like, really, Sabrina, hey, how you doing? Like, what do you really want to be remembered for? Going back to a discussion that we had before about, like, what do you want your legacy to be? And I know a lot of people may not care about that, but again, this is why I'm careful with the religious stuff, because at the end of the day, I know a lot of people put stuff out there, and there's certain things, if this not your part of the conversation, then just, take the parts that you can take, and whatever you can't take, send it to the region. But there are certain things, and I'm going to say this, it's certain things that if you fear God, it's certain things that you're not going to do. Period. Now, I'm going to leave that there for whoever needs it. If you fear God, unless your mental capacity is completely out of your hands and you have no control over it, then there are certain things that you will not do. It's not even about fearing man. If you fear God, there are certain things that you're not going to do. It's not about going and doing things and saying, oh, I'll go and repent for that later. No. It's certain things that if you fear God, you will not do. So when I see certain behaviors and I hear people talking about certain things, that's why, and it's not for me to judge, but I know if I need to stay away from you. I know if I don't need to listen to the stuff that you're saying, because if you're talking about God over here, but then you participating in these behaviors, then I ain't even trying to hear you when you start talking about this stuff over here. I ain't even trying to hear that. Because that would be me being unrealistic. And I'm not going to fall into that. I see the difference. I recognize the entertainment of it all. But when you start doing, it's certain things, I'm sorry. This is what I stand on. It's certain things that you're just not going to do. And it's not for you to say, hey, Pico, have a good day. It's not for you to oh, I know. Well, I know I did this yesterday, y'all. It's not even about that. It's not even about that, because there's a certain walk that you walk. Not that you're perfect, but there's a certain walk. People should be able to look at you and your behaviors and be like, you know what? There's a light about you. You have there's an aura about you, that you don't have to even tell people what your beliefs are, what you stand for. And from Monday to Tuesday, it went like there shouldn't be any question about that. But like I said, if you are in the place where you cannot control those urges, or you cannot control your mental capabilities, then that's a different story. And I think with some people that it may be at the point where there are certain things that they cannot control. And a lot of people find it funny. And they don't even realize that they're doing some of the stuff that they're doing. Or maybe they realize some of the things that they're doing, but they don't realize the extent that they're doing certain things. And you have to sit back, like, realistically and ask yourself, is this entertainment, or are we seeing something else right here? Because when it gets to the point where stuff just don't make sense, like, how can you do that? Like, you really did. Like, you still don't. Like, it gets to a point where it's like, it's not funny. It's not even funny. It's like, it's sad. It's sad. Yeah, this old bat is kicking. You hear me? It's sad. And I just say, for us, at what point do we become, or we show that we are our brother's keeper, or our sister's keeper? How long do you support the foolishness? How long do you support the shenanigans and not say anything? A lot of things is just like when you're dealing with kids, there are certain things that kids do for attention. And if you don't give them that attention, then those behaviors subside and they'll find another behavior to partake in. Usually if somebody's participating in a negative behavior and they see that that negative behavior isn't working, and they try another negative behavior and see that that's not working, and they look over here and they see, okay, this person's doing something positive and that appears to be working, then 9 times out of 10, those people start, okay, well, let me try this positive thing and see if that works. So the only way to stop or to reduce or to decrease a negative behavior is to stop feeding into it. So the question is, when do you stop feeding into it? When do you make it a point to let entertainment be entertainment? Entertainment shouldn't hurt anybody else. Y'all tell me what you think. You don't have to hurt anyone else to entertain people. You don't have to come after people. You don't have to call people any names. You don't have to call them fat. You don't have to call them black. You don't have to call them ugly. You don't have to do any of these things. You don't have to do that stuff to entertain people. You don't. Unless there's something new that I don't know about. And it may be, child. Because I be behind on stuff. Y'all see people be asking me about stuff on here and I don't even know what's going on. One big issue I see is social media has made some people uncomfortable with anything. Go, Sir Miguel. I can't remember what we did before social media. But I know now people feel like they can come at you any kind of way. They can say whatever to you. Like, and everything is their business. People feel like you owe them something. It's like right now somebody comes out and says something and you got people saying, well, where are the receipts? And why didn't you do such and such? And when did it, like, nobody owes you anything. Nobody. But people have gotten to the place where they feel like just because somebody comes out and says something, that they have the right to tell people what they can and cannot do and what they need to do and what they need to tell people and how they need to say. Like, again, there is a fine line. There's a very fine line. It's crazy. I read stuff and I'm looking like, this is me. Who you talking to? I'm like, who you talking to? I don't owe you no explanation. Because that's what I was saying in real life. I don't owe you no explanation. I said what I said, period. I don't owe you no explanation. Like, that's it. But in this particular situation, now, with that being said, I'll go back to the question that I had about the sisters. They don't owe anybody any explanation about anything. Truth be told, oh, y'all ain't gonna like this. RK don't owe anybody any explanation about anything. Yes, he has fans. Yes, he has supporters. He has family. He has friends. But ultimately, he don't owe anybody an explanation. Yep, I said that. Sure did. Yep. I ain't taking it back. Don't owe nobody an explanation. Just don't. That's why people got the game mixed up. If somebody gives you an explanation for something, it's nice. You know, that's good that they decided to explain something or, you know, try to confirm, deny, like whatever. If they choose to do that, you know, that's their right to do or not do, but they don't owe anything. And I hear, but you owe us an explanation. Don't nobody owe you Jack or Jill or the hill they fell down on. They don't owe you nothing. Now that's some reality. I gotta put some more gravy on my grits. Hold on. They just don't. Hold up. So that's the first thing. Nobody owes us anything. If they decide to give us something, great. If they decide not to give us anything, that's great too, because they have that right. The only thing is that I'm going to tell you is that they speak on a regular basis. And that's all I'm going to say. And I'm going to leave that there. Anything else, if they feel like putting that out there for people, then that's going to be on them to put out there. It's not my place. I'm not going to act like it's my place. So, and I'll just do that. What I will say with that is, I don't think whatever they have going on, I don't see where it has anything to do with what people are fighting for. What's going on with the people that he interacts with the people that he's close to, that has no bearing on what's going on with this case, what's going on with the appeal. It has no bearing on any of that. And that's what gets me about a lot of this stuff, because you just get to the point where people run out of stuff to talk about. Because if you're fighting for him, then who he chooses to see his family or doesn't choose to see his family, all the way around. I mean, all the way around. Like, that really, that has nothing to do with him getting out or like what happens. It has absolutely nothing to do with that at all. At all. And I think the sooner that people see that, I think that that will help people all the way around and help them to focus on the stuff that they're supposed to be focusing on, because this ain't it. It's not it. For me, if I was advising someone, I would say that if I was a person that really cared about him or supported him, then I would be glad that he has people in his corner that has his back. Regardless, I mean, you don't have to like him. It doesn't matter if you don't like him. You don't know him. But if you have somebody that's going through something and they have people that are in their corner, regardless of what anybody has to say about them, then what's the problem? And how is them or anyone else that's genuinely supporting him or anybody else, how is that affecting anyone else? Like, how was that, or why would that make anyone lose any sleep at night? Why would that make anybody get all swole up in their chest and want to come after them or anybody else that are genuinely supporting him? See, my thing is, either you support him or you don't. But you got a lot of double-sided things going on. So for me, my brother that's deceased, whenever he was going through something, I mean, we were there. It wasn't something where we were going out making all these, comments and saying all this stuff. We supported him, and we didn't have to put that support out to the public. We didn't have to try to get approval from anybody. Like, I could care less. Mano King, hey, how you doing? Like, I could care less whether somebody believed that I was supporting him, because at the end of the day, the only thing that mattered was that he knew that I was supporting him. Everything else was a bunch of bull. And that's where I stand on this too. So that's why when a lot of the questions come, like, where do you stand on this, or where do you stand on that, and what, at the end of the day, like, it really doesn't matter. These are my words. Now, this is something somebody want to take it back, they can take it back. It really doesn't matter about what people think about how I support or who I support or if I support, because at the end of the day, the people that know, the people that are on that need to know basis, they know. Nothing else matters. Now, we can, get on here and try to be all cute and coy about it and, play the commentary game, but still at the end of the day, nothing matters. Nothing matters. Now, a lot of people don't like my wordplay, but I'm going to give you some wordplay for today. If you have people in certain situations that work in certain types of careers and things like that, would you rather have the person that can help supporting you, or the person that can't do anything for you supporting you? I'm gonna let y'all answer that. Think about it. you're in certain situations, and I don't want to say it. Let me see. APZ, hey, how you doing, lady? A lot of times, again, people get out of the common sense category because they get so caught up with the commentary and being entertained that they don't see real when it slap them on the face, when it slap them in the face. Blessings, blessings, blessings. They don't see it. They don't see it. I can say that one of the things that I've learned in life is that people that have the biggest bite or that have the most to say are usually doing the least. That's with any situation. And the people that are doing the most, you'll never hear about it. Because it's not their story to tell. And again, everything is on a need to know basis. Everything is not meant for everybody to know. Demetra, how you doing, lady? Hey, hey, hey. That's what I hope people get out of this at the end. A lot of situations happen and we want to know. We want all the answers to everything. We got questions for days. Again, everything is not your business. That's the first thing. The second thing is everything is not meant for you to understand. That's life. Another thing is it's okay, and this is a message to everybody, it's okay to support in silence. You don't have to go and broadcast your business to everybody. You don't. Just like if you decide that, like if you got a situation going on and you decide to support a business or this company or whatever you decide to support financially, you don't have to go and broadcast that to anybody. Oh, I sent money over here. I sent money over here. Oh, I wrote this. Oh, you don't have to go and do that for anybody. Because at the end of the day, to me, you're not doing anything but grandstanding. You want people to know, oh, I did this. Oh, I did that. Oh, pat me on the back. I did this. Like, that's just grandstanding. At the end of the day, nobody cares. Nobody cares. The only person that's really benefiting from it is the person that you supposedly did it for. And honestly, if you do something and you got to go and brag about doing it, I know for me, I don't want you to do anything for me if you got to go and brag about what you did. If you got to go and tell everybody that you did something for me, if you supported me financially, if you supported me by writing me, if you supported me by doing certain things, I don't need you going to broadcast that to everybody. If you're doing it from the heart, then you do it from the heart. Do it and go about your business. Take the entertainment out of it. If you did it from the heart, then that's where it's coming from. It doesn't matter if anybody else knows. You shouldn't really want anybody else to know. But that's just me. I mean, this is my, I'm just speaking my thoughts right now. I ain't telling nobody what to do. What are your thoughts about? I feel like they're doing an amazing job. I love this shit. It's not on for the blue family. I actually feel that she is doing what she's supposed to do. Contrary to what other people think, I can tell you personally, I'm not one of those that think that the other ones didn't do what they were supposed to do. I feel like people it's like a relay race, and people played their part, and that the torch had to be passed to the next person. So you have one person that did something and that set the stage for the next person. You had somebody else came in and that set the stage for the next person. It set things up for the next person to be able to come in and do whatever they need to do. So for me personally, she's a good attorney. She's a great attorney, as a matter of fact. My only hope is, again, that it's not just about people leaving her alone. It's about her not paying attention and not falling victim to, things that other people have fallen victim to. Don't get involved in the mess. Again, don't respond. And for a lot of people, gotta make sure, look, I got grits in my teeth. Hold up. Okay. For a lot of people, they feel like if you don't respond, like there's something wrong. You're trying to hide something. You're not doing your job. And the reality of it is, usually when they're doing their jobs, they don't respond. They don't. Hey, I ride solo. How you doing? And that should be what people want to see, instead of like constantly running behind people. And it goes back to what I said before. The time that attorneys are taking to respond to Boo Fale, that's less time that they're using to work on a particular case. So, piece in the puzzle, hey, how you doing? Whenever they're taking that time to like go and respond to some mess or try to do damage control for some stuff that some other people did, it's not conducive to what everybody is fighting for, because you pulling away. You're taking that time that they need to go and research and to do other things. You're pulling away from that. And that's with any case, not just with this particular case. I just find it interesting that with this case that people feel the need again to respond. And it's because of the attitudes of a lot of the people that are supposed to be supporters. Like they feel like somebody owes them something. And a lot of people get to the point, I'm going to speak on what I see. A lot of people get to the point where it's like they're almost, I don't know if I want to say stalking, but it's like, that's kind of how it comes across. Like, I'll see like on Twitter, because I look at what, and I'll see the attorneys respond to another case that has absolutely nothing to do with this case. And you'll have people, well, you didn't do such and such on this. And I'm like, that is not what this person is talking about. Like, they can't talk about anything else if it doesn't go back to this. And again, realistically, this is not what people think about 24/7. So, and you got to, like, attorneys have other cases. That's how they get bills paid. So it's just, right, way too invested. Way. It's scary. It's scary. It's scary. To me, anyway, it's scary. I'm like, can the people come and talk about their dog? They're having a conversation like, my dog had puppies today. Well, you forget about your dog. You need to be focusing on this. Like, really? Can we not walk and chew gum at the same darn time? Can we not do two things at the same time? It's scary. It's scary. Oh, shoot. Okay. See, I didn't even know that Joy's mom said something. But again, it's good. It's good. Don't respond. Everything does not deserve a response. It just doesn't. And again, if y'all don't remember anything else that I said on here, remember that people will put stuff out there. People will lie on you. People will go and just blatantly lie on you because they want you to come out and tell something that they want to know. So if I don't know what's going on right here and I want you to come and try to give me some information, then I'm going to go out and say, oh, well, Doc, she didn't do such and such, and she don't know such and such, because you want me to come back out and defend myself and say, yes, I did. As a matter of fact, I did A, B, C, and D. Now you got the information that you wanted. Don't fall for that. Don't fall for that, because that's why a lot of people do certain things, especially in this particular situation right here. It's the bait and switch thing. You're putting stuff out there, even though you know it's a lie. People listen to it, even though they know it's a lie. They'll comment on it, knowing that it's a bald-faced lie, but they won't call people out, and they never sit and think about, okay, wait a minute. Now you put that out there and you knew that wasn't true. Like, what are you trying to get? It's because they're trying to get information. That's all it is. I also believe some YouTubers have become, have become too invested to the point it does look bad, but they can't see it because they're so invested. But many, absolutely. I agree with that 100%. I agree with that 100%. 100%. And like I said, ultimately, a lot of the stuff that people are talking about is not helping to move anything with what he has going on. Those are facts. The only thing it's doing is helping, like, whoever that particular commentator is helping them with the views and the likes. And it's helping them, with the little YouTube check or anything. But it's not genuinely, it is not helping him. Unless they're taking that money that they're making and they're putting that money over there for him, it's not helping him. That's the reality of it all. That's the reality. And that's why I said there's no need for me to keep talking about stuff and beating a dead horse. There's no need for that. If people want to come, if something new happens and they want to come and put it out, put it out. But when you're going and you're talking about all this extracurricular stuff that has nothing to do with anything, then that's like the entertainment part of it. That's the entertainment part of it, because at this point, there's not really too much that people can tell us that we don't already know. What are the exclusives? To be honest, oh, Lord have mercy. The people that they could get exclusives from, they done made these people shut up. So they ain't telling you nothing. The ones that you could get some information from that you don't know, they ain't saying nothing. And I don't blame them. I don't blame them. I wouldn't tell you nothing. Exactly, Peace. Do y'all remember when I said I ain't on nobody's team? I said I'm Team God. And people like, no, you got to be on this team or that team. I ain't on nobody's team. Okay, basketball, volleyball, okay. But shoot, kickball. But no, because these teams are like, your team members will turn on you at the drop of a dime. You know what I mean? And it's like, if you dedicate yourself to a team, then you're putting yourself with like-minded individuals, right? Or you hope your goal is to put yourself with like-minded individuals. And you go and you get on this team and you're giving yourself this name. And then you're sitting up here and you're like, wait a minute, I don't agree with that. I don't agree with that. Now you're sitting here looking crazy because you're supposed to agree with everything that the team does, right? But that's not realistic. That's just not realistic, you know? It's not even about that particular parent or those parents being held accountable. I feel like everybody involved should be held accountable. Meaning that if you put your child out there to do something, if you participated in any acts to try to set somebody up or acts that you know were not legal at the time, any acts that you use to try to manipulate a situation, I feel like you need to be held accountable. If you lied on somebody, regardless of who you are, if you lied on somebody and you're involved in this, you need to be held accountable. If you did anything that you were not supposed to do in this situation, you need to be held accountable. Like, that's where I'm at. Like, I don't want to just pinpoint them because I didn't get to see the messages or whatever, but from what I heard, yeah. But they all need to be held accountable. Not just those parents. Like, it's a bunch of people that need to be held accountable. A bunch of them. And if they got to go one by one, then so be it. But the only thing is with this, where this stands now and what a lot of people don't seem to realize, they can't mix the two. So whatever's going on with him right now, that's going to have to be taken care of. That's completely separate from them holding the parents accountable, if that makes sense. So they have to deal with his situation, and then somebody has to take the lead and saying, okay, we got to pursue these people. That's where that comes in it. And I don't know if people remember, like, I think Greenberg made a comment like to one of the dads. He was like, you know, yeah, you're a good parent, but my thing is, you know, I wish I would have had the opportunity to call your mess. Like, that's exactly what he was saying. Like, people felt like this wasn't being done, but there's an order. There's a hierarchy to things. And you may want to go and put stuff out there a certain way, but it won't be admitted because that's not the time. Like, one thing, even though to us looking at it on the outside, one thing has everything to do with the other. You can't do these things together because they're two separate things or three separate things. So if someone is on trial for something, nobody's worried about all these other people because the focus is on you and your trial and what we said you did. So they're going to focus on that. All this other stuff, people got to go and, you see what I'm saying? Like, somebody got to say, okay, we got to go and address this stuff over here, but you can't address it with this because they're not on trial. So if something turns around and somebody says, you know what? These behaviors right here look a little shaky too now, because the stuff that y'all may be accusing somebody else of doing, like, you actually see it right here. Like, you have evidence, you have substantiating evidence right here that says these things actually took place. Now over here, maybe it's a bit more hearsay and he say, she said, who all said, but over here, like, you got some factual, visual proof on some things, and somebody goes and said, look, we need to look into this. Now you talking about something else. But this got to be taken care of. And then this can be taken care of. But they can't do them together. So at the end of the day, there may be something else that comes out of this. At this point, nobody really knows. I would think that if people are really paying attention, that there probably is going to be something else that comes out of it. Especially if the lawyer takes this the way that it looks that it's going. I mean, you have valid information showing where there was some manipulation at play that contributed to a lot of the stuff that they're claiming actually happened. So, I mean, it's a lot to it. And that's why I wish people would kind of sit back and chill for a minute and, like, really look at what's going on. It's not about saying, oh, you're guilty and you're guilty and you're guilty and we're going to get you and we're going to get you. You got to focus on this part right here and see what's going on right here and see how this gets handled. Because based on this has everything with how to do with how this gets handled. Does that make sense? If I ain't making sense, y'all let me know. This main thing has everything to do with how the next thing gets handled. So she's at the place where the other people can come out and put this stuff out here. She at the place now, okay, this part done been done. I can go and present this now where they couldn't present this before. Oh, now I can go and give y'all this. I can show you exactly what was being done. Because see, when you got this person on trial, and I'm trying not to go too much. Okay, Yeah, everything. You got to take care of this, and then this. What happens over here is depending upon what happens right here. Because if I can go improve this right here, which I can, because I'm showing you, like I'm giving it to you here. Here, I'm giving it to you. It's not a question of did it happen, if it happened. I'm giving it to you. Here it is. Now, what you gonna do with it? Are you gonna overlook it? Are you gonna deny it? See, they couldn't give you that information before, but right now, I'm giving it to you. I'm giving it to you on a silver platter. You got it in your face. Now, what are you gonna do with it? That's kind of how the situation is. That's what the situation is. So, for a lot of people, you see a lot of people getting quiet right now because, certain things get put out, and now it's like, oh, shoot. See, it was okay before because a lot of things weren't allowed because it wasn't appropriate. It wasn't that they wouldn't let them put it in. It wasn't appropriate because this is not what was being handled at the time. But now that that part is taken out, and now you're in an appeals process, now more information can be introduced that couldn't be introduced over here. So now this is where the rubber meets the road. Now we can address some of those things that we could not address before. Let's get it. Let's get into it. Let's do this. So I don't know if that answered your question, but that's where I'm at with it. Because for me, it's more than just some parents. It's a lot of stuff, and a lot of people need to be addressed. Not just the parents. Because in order for some parents to do stuff, see, other people had to partake in some stuff too. You know what I mean? So when you address one, you need to make sure you're addressing this. You need to make sure you're addressing this. And that's going to be the problem. You got a lot of folks that's going to end up being addressed on some stuff. Especially when you're doing stuff to try to set somebody up or try to make things look a certain way. Just more than one or two gonna have to answer for that. So let's see. We need to bring them up on charges. Give. Like I said, that it's really gonna be. I don't think that his attorney would sit around and not push for it to be addressed. I could be wrong, but I just don't see her. That's the reason for her bringing it out. She wanted it addressed, so that's why she put it out there. So and I just thought of something else too. For the question that was asked from the beginning about some tweet or something that was put out. And I hope they don't mind me saying this. But the sisters have a good relationship with the attorney. And I'm going to leave that there. Period. That's it. Right, Pete. Like I said, it's some folks. It's some folks. It's in due time. I really feel like in due time, again, for me, without going into too much detail, if somebody did something that was illegal and they hurt somebody, they're gonna have to be held accountable for that. When you have situations where you go and you have to set somebody up to put them in a situation, and then turn around and say that they did something wrong, when you played a major part in kind of setting the stage, setting the precedence for certain things to happen, I think you're dealing with something not a little bit different, but a whole lot different. And I think that's the difference in what's going on right now. So, I don't know. It's definitely not a good look. Definitely not a good look. So, okay. So I wanted to have this conversation with you today, guys, just to kind of get people looking at some things, especially when people come out with this craziness. And it's like, why? Why? And what are you getting out of this? Like, why? What's the point? Why are you messing with people that don't mess with you? That's one of the first things. Why are you paying people some attention that don't pay you any mind? They going about their business, you know. Why do you go so hard for people that you don't know, like coming after them at the end of the... I take that back. Let me not do that. I take that back because we know why. But how much sense does it make? And how much of it is factual, how much of it is legit, and how much of it is entertainment? Then when you get to that entertainment piece and you look at that, now how much of your behavior is genuine? And how much of your behavior is coming from a place of concern? Like we should be concerned with the behaviors that are being exhibited. Because I'm at that place with a lot of folks. Yeah. So I just wanted to touch on this today. And like I said, I mentioned Kanye with this situation, and even Wendy, because those are people that we've watched. And we've seen people still support the behaviors, those erratic behaviors, and people supported it, and nobody tried to assist. At least that we could... I'm pretty sure that there was somebody there that's trying to assist, but you know, a lot of times people are going to do what they going to do, but we don't have to support it. We definitely don't have to support it. So that thin line, at the end of the day, that thin line, are you leaning towards the side of entertainment and just being entertained by people? Or are you leaning on that side of the ones that would assist on YouTube? They have been blocked. Oh my, true story. Wow, Joycelyn. Dang, true story. True story. True story. And that would be from the people that don't want help. That would be from the people that don't want help. And that's even more concerning because that tells me I know what I'm doing. I don't want your help. I know that I'm out here acting a fool and running amok. I don't want your help. Let me act crazy. And how much you're still at fault for even allowing... Oh my God. Okay, yeah. 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 How much are you at fault for even allowing it? It's like people can do it, but you don't have to partake in it. You don't have to participate in it. You want to act the fool, you go act the fool by yourself. But y'all, I mean, we see it, y'all. It's like a grown person wrote that. Am I the only person that ever think that? Like a grown person wrote that? Like grown, did a grown person write that? They got their child to write that. They had to get their grandchild to write that because I know a grown person didn't write that. Like, you can't be serious. I see that. I see that a lot. And I'm not talking about the way that people write. Don't get me wrong. It's not a grammar thing or a grammatical thing. Like, it's the thoughts. Like, a grown person wrote that? Like, you really think like that? A grown person said that? You for real? And it's scary. You get scared sometimes, like, I'm oh, that's scary. You know what I mean? It's, yeah. So, this was I used to do Sunday table talk. So this was my Sunday table talk, today. Just want to come on and, I mean, I could try to entertain you. I'm not really an entertainer, but I could try to come on and entertain you for a little while. I can turn on some music, do a little dance, do a little something, rap a little bit, whatever. I mean, we could come on and do that, but I feel like sometimes it's just, you need to have some real conversations about some things, especially when it's concerning our people. And so the takeaways from this, the stuff that the people are having all this drama and all this stuff, that they're really just like, what role is it playing? How important is it to the overall goal that people have? Even bigger question, what is the overall goal? At this point, does anybody know? What is it? I mean, what is it? So, like that's the last thing. At the end of the day, whatever, somebody may be mad about, whatever they're fussing about, ranting about, whatever it is it any of their business? Or are they making it their business? That would be the question. Because if it's none of their business, then why do they have so much to say about it? If it's not affecting them directly, why does it bother them so much? And I will help you answer that question. It's entertaining. It brings views. It brings likes. It brings money. So if you're okay with being used for that, then fine. But these people ain't giving y'all nothing back in return. It ain't like they're sharing the money with you for you to sit there and go along with the foolishness. You ain't getting paid to go along with the foolishness. I said it. This was a lot of grits, y'all. So anyway, I'm going to get off here. I got to go wash my hair. Get ready for this work week. Go get myself together. Oh, this today they could have called me grease face too, boy, because that thing was crucial. But yeah, go get myself together. Get ready for this work week so I can go out here and try to save some folks. Go sit your unstable self down somewhere. So unstable. This is one of the people that I was talking about right here. Prime example. Not only did they go and change their name so they can come back and act the fool, but coming back on here, I don't give a flip about nobody talking about me. I don't care. I don't care. That's not karma for me. I could give two flips. He'll be all right. I didn't say anything negative about him. I'm not going to say anything negative about him. That's on him. However he feels is how he feels. And we're going to leave it there. He's entitled to his opinion just like I am. He's exposing a lie and you are exposing a lie. Because you are exposing exactly how it looks when a grown person acts like a child. And I'm going to leave that there. So, I thank you guys for tuning in. I don't care. I thank you guys for tuning in. I hope that you got something out of this message. I don't think you're grown. You might not be. You might not be. Thank you for correcting me on that. You are absolutely right. I'm going to assume that you are a teenager because that's how the comments come across. So thank you for correcting me on that. Hope you guys got something out of this message today. Hold up, I gotta get this on. Everyday Gemini, how you doing? This little Sunday message. Hope you got something out of it. Hope it pushes you to like just think. Don't take everybody's word whenever you hear stuff. Look at the stuff and like really ask yourself, where is this coming from? Where is it coming from? Because that really matters. And finally, if it does nothing else, I hope it encourages you to do this one thing. Piece in the puzzle said, Lord, I just want to support. Piece in the puzzle, do that. Do that. Like, never mind all this extra stuff. Never mind all these people with no coof. Just never mind all of that. Like, put all that stuff, like, just pay no mind to that, to that, because ultimately, you got to have your sanity at the end of the day. And all this stuff that people are doing, it's not worth your sanity. It's not worth it. It's just like when you get off YouTube, then that should be it. It's like when I get off here today, I'm not coming back to check and see what somebody said. I ain't going to check nobody's videos. Like, I'm not going to do that. And that's what I encourage a lot of people to do. Like, if it's people that you watch them. And get whatever you can and go about your business. But like jumping over here to follow people up and child, just go on about your business, child. Whatever you want to support that. And all this other stuff, just realize that this is not part of supporting something. It's entertaining, but it's not part of supporting something. Like, child, that's all I can say. Just do that. Y'all do that. Pay this other stuff no mind. I had to pull back for too much because it gave me a headache. And it shouldn't. That's what I'm trying to get out there. That's one of the things that I said before. If the situation is starting to affect you, not just mentally, but if it's starting to affect you physically, like I remember somebody saying something about having chest pains, people having anxiety, people having headaches. Like when it gets to that point, you got to step away. You got to step away and ask yourself, is it worth it? The stuff that's going on in your real life, outside of this YouTube stuff, do you let that stuff affect you like that? Because if not, then why in the world are you letting these people on here that don't know you, that don't give two flips about you, that don't care about your well-being? They don't care if you have a headache. They don't care if this stuff is making you sick emotionally. They don't care that this stuff may be making you sick physically. They don't care that you're having this type of response to their behaviors. They could give two flips. If anything, when they find out this affecting you, they're going to go and talk about you and laugh at it. So why would you let it affect you like that? And that's how I look at it. Why would you let it affect you like that? And hopefully, I'm hoping that that's what these sisters over here doing too. Like, these people don't pay your bills. They don't have nothing. Like, who cares what they think about you? Because a lot of people, and I'm going to say this and I'm going to get off here, and people ain't going to like this. A lot of people are just mad because they actually communicate with them on a regular basis, and when the people that's mad don't. I said that. I said that. That's what it boils down to for a lot of people. He trusts them. He confides in them. Most people. I'm a step right. There's nobody that's out here on these YouTube streets that can say that. Nobody. So if that pisses people off, then again, I say instead of being mad with them, take it up with him. Take it up with him. Because when the calls coming through and not like whatever's going like, y'all see what I'm talking about? Like, if you mad about that, take it up with him. Don't get mad with them. That's a decision that he making. And if you think he not making a good decision, then take it up with him. That's the solution to that problem. You don't have to get mad with them. You don't have to go after them. Take it up with him. Find out how to get in contact with him and shoot your shot and say, look, I don't like you communicating with them. I don't like you doing whatever you do. Like, take it up with him. that's, I don't know what else to say. Take it up with him. And see how that works for you. See how that works out for you. Because it wasn't too long ago that you had people saying, yeah, he said, blah, 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 blah. And now that things have died down, the people are coming back trying to get some more stuff sparked up. No. Y'all can't keep letting these people flip-flop. If they don't like the fact that he's dealing with them or anybody else, take it up with him. Go to the horse. Don't go to the cow. Don't go to the sheep. Don't go to the dog. Don't go to the frog that's hopping around on the lily pads. Go to the horse. Go to the source. Go to the horse's mouth and voice your concerns and see what kind of response you get back. And then come back and post on that. Come back and post on that and do some commentary on that. Like, that's all I can tell you. So, yeah. That's my response for that. So anyway, guys, I am going to get off here. Hope you guys enjoyed this. I enjoyed being able to come out today on a Sunday, even though we had to do it with head tied up. It is what it is. Glad you guys were able to chill with me while I ate my Sunday dinner. And continue to eat my Sunday dinner. For those of you that got something out of this, share the message. If you didn't get anything out of this and you just came on here just to see what you can run back and tell, share the message. The message stands for itself. If you are indifferent and you're just coming to check things out to see what's going on and see what the talk is about and who these people may be talking about, share the message. It's still the same. If you have not hit that like button, then please hit that like button and take note. Please take note. I'm not knocking anybody else, but I am not coming on here asking you for money. I don't want your money. I just want to come and try to help a few folks out and see if we can make some sense out of what is going on out here in these streets, because the foolishness is real. Okay, with that being said, I'm going to get off here. But again, if you did not get that message, if there's nothing else that you get from this video, I'm going to give you the same message that I give at the end of every video. And I'm hoping that this touches you and your heart and that you feel it way, way deep. If you don't get nothing else out of this, I need you to remember this one thing. Mind your business. Yeah, mind your business. And when you finish doing that, God, y'all, I got grits all in my teeth. Hold up. I'm all up here talking. Got grits all in it. Grits in the teeth. Grits in the teeth. Okay. I got to talk with my body teeth covered. Yeah. Just mind your business. It makes life so much easier. You can sleep good at night. It reduces the anxiety. It reduces stress. Reduces depression. I promise. It lowers your heart rate. It reduces headaches. Just mind your business. Ain't gotta share. I think they hurt. Listen, and when the people come at y'all with some foolishness and start questioning y'all about whatever, tell them to mind their business. It ain't hard. tell them to mind their business. That's it. Just tell them to mind their business. That's it. All right, y'all. I'm going to get on up out of here. Thank y'all for tuning in. Shout out to the Certified Dimes. Shout out to the subscribers. If you have not subscribed, please subscribe to the channel. Leave your comments below. And I'm going to get off here because I got to go floss, y'all. Because this grits, that's going to be a whole other commentary somebody putting up there. Look at Roger sitting up there. The girl from the Carolinas with grits in her teeth. Bless my heart. See y'all next time. Bye. Bye, y'all.